Surprise! Bet you weren't expecting something like this, huh? Welcome to a new series of mine called Review Time. This is where I take a look at various games and give my thoughts and opinions on them, like the Sonic series for example. I've been wanting to do something like this for quite some time now, but wasn't quite sure how to tackle this sort of thing until recently. But to start things off, we're going to review a certain game that you may all know too well given my usual content on this channel. So, will this be a Roboblast or will it all go, well, in smoke? Let's find out. This is Sonic Roboblast 2! Wait. 2? What the f***?
It's showtime!
Sonic Roboblast 2 was one of the first Sonic fan games I discovered back when I was just a little kid. Back in its final demo days, I remember having a grand time playing the levels and screwing around with object place, the debug mode of the game pretty much. I didn't touch any mods back then as I didn't know how to quite work them as a kid. I didn't even know there was a message board either. Check that out, by the way, some really good shit on there. It wouldn't be until years later when I eventually came across the game again in 2016. In version 2.1, the game was a lot different from how I remembered it. The game now had new graphics, completely revamped maps, and much more that wasn't in 1.9. It's still hard to believe this game originated all the way back in 1998, created by one user of the name of SSN Tales, who was the guy responsible for what became SRB2 in the first place and would eventually pass leadership to someone else before moving on to create Roly Poly Putt. The game also happens to run on a modified version of Doom Legacy, finely tuned to power all of the action you see on screen right now. Which is crazy because you'd never think something like this would be made using this. But enough about that, it's time for some plot. It all begins with a recap of the events of Sonic Roboblast 1. Eggman is about to drain all of the planet's rings using his ring satellite for whatever reason I do not know. Maybe he wants one of those retro game cartridges on eBay, but it's really bloody expensive. But then Sonic comes in to put an end to that nonsense with a rather irritated looking Eggman. Fast forward 2 months, and after having his schemes foiled once again, the Mad Doctor turns to this mysterious asteroid filled to the brim with energy that appears out of nowhere, dubbed as the Black Rock. Yeah, I wonder if it's a cousin to any other meteors we know of. I better not have any aliens in it, or I swear to God. It appears every 5 years or so before disappearing after 1 week passes. And so the Doctor plots to turn this floating piece of space rock into his latest battle station, the Egg Rock. What? However, before starting his new plan for world domination, Eggman decides to mess with our blue spiky hero. By blowing the shit out of a random mountain for no reason. Man, I sure hope nobody was living there. After blowing up Greenflower Mountain, the tourist attraction of the zone I suppose, Eggman makes his escape and the game begins as our heroes give chase. Now, before starting the game, I'd highly recommend you go and set up your controls and everything first, as it'll ensure you'll have a better experience that way. The game gives you 3 play styles to play around with: Strafe, Standard and Simple. Strafe and Standard are the 2 original playstyles of SRB2. You use your mouse to move the camera about and the keyboard for getting yourself around the levels, and that's about it. The only difference between the 2 is that Strafe keeps your character facing forwards no matter what direction you're going in, and Standard makes your character face whatever direction you're moving in. Not really much difference. Now if you're looking to use a controller, then Simple is for you. This playstyle is made for controllers and hassle-free gameplay. The camera automatically rotates around your movement and the player faces and acts whatever direction they're going. And if you need to, you may also have the option of locking the camera behind Sonic so you can focus on your surroundings much better. So if you want to play the game with controller, then hey, this playstyle may just be for you. And the fact that the controls are so customizable is amazing. I don't get why people complain about it on Twitter either, because I've seen people saying the controls are really bad, and I'm like, dude, you can customize them. What more could you ask for? Anyways, once you have everything all configured and you take into the tutorial, you can go pick a save file, a character of your choice, and start your adventure. SRB2 gives you 4 choices on who you can pick: Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, or Sonic with Tails following you throughout the course of the game. Now if you have Tails following you as Sonic, you can also have him give you a lift if you jump when this thought bubble appears. Huh, guess he wants to fly. Well, okay then, buddy! Now before anything, take my advice. Don't pick Sonic on your first time playing the game! Because here's the hard mode of the game. You don't have many recovery options to speak of, except for one move. The fuck. Which actually sounds like a swear word now I think about it. The fuck is an air dash that propels Sonic very far and very fast in the direction of your choosing. It's very powerful and it has its uses. But don't go thinking you can just simply spam the move for speed without punishment on the first try, as this is exactly why Sonic is super unfriendly towards beginners in the first place, as the most you'll be doing is talking into the walls or pits. They warned you about this in the character select for a reason. Do yourself a favour and choose Tails as your first pick instead when it comes to this game. His flight gives beginners a better chance at some of the challenges this game has to offer, and you'll have a better chance at settling into the game's controls as a result. Once you've got a hang of the game with Tails, try Knuckles and get the hang of him, and then try some gameplay with Sonic. That way you'll be much better at the game by then, and you have a better chance of controlling this motherfucker, believe me. Whew! Now that's out of the way, let's get to the gameplay. Apart from the severe lack of loops, the game almost plays how you expect a Sonic game to. You collect rings, bop badniks, and so on. You can even skip across the water by spinning, just like an 8-bit version of Sonic 2. However, I kinda have problems with the physics for this. For starters, the speed you go at normally is capped. So even after hitting a red spring, or jumping after rolling down a slope, you're going to be forced back to whatever speed you go normally. The only way to gain and maintain speed is by rolling. This is the only way to get any real speed in SRB2 with the current physics. I am not kidding. Look, I know in the classic Sonic games, spinning was the best way to gain speed, but it wasn't the only way. You were able to gain speed in places such as Chemical Plant Act 2 for Sonic 2, so why can't I do that here? It just feels so wrong. Thankfully, seeing as this game is still in development, there seems to be plans of changing this matter for 2.3, as there's gifs of the new physics in action in the official server's development channel. Link to the official Discord is in the description. They post there from time to time in this channel, so you'll get little teasers and updates on what's going on for the future versions and whatnot. Also, can I just say the music for this game is just so fucking good. Compared to the previous version's OST for the game, this is actually heaven to my ears. Here, let me give you a comparison of the two real quick. shields await you to play with too, like the Force Shield, which grants you double the protection of a normal shield with steady 2 hits and allows you to hold your momentum in midair in case you need to stop on a dime or you're feeling unsure of any platforming challenges the game throws at you. The Elemental Shield is like the child of the Fire and Bubble Shields from Sonic 3. You can breathe underwater, and when you're not, you can roll into a ball to leave deadly fire trails, and even use the Elemental Stomp to both stop yourself as well as dive bombing into the ground with some more fire to boot. Huh, guess that makes the Force Shield kinda useless then. The Attraction Shield does what it says on the tin. It attracts rings, and you can directly attack enemies by attracting your shield to them with a home attack a la the Gold Shield from Sonic 3D Blast. So you can take them out in a more faster and precise manner. To be frank, I personally find this shield to be a downgrade from the Lightning Shield from Sonic 3, as that had a double jump which was really useful for platforming, but perhaps that was in order to make way for another shield. The Whirlwind Shield is my favourite of the bunch, as it simply gives you said double jump to help make your platforming that much easier, especially with the likes of Sonic here. You can also trigger it in mid-air if you fall off a ledge or hit a spring with the jump button, and that really helps sometimes, so keep that in mind. Last but certainly not least is the Armageddon Shield, and all I can say is... What the fuck?! It's a nuke. The zones themselves have 3 acts at most, 2 normal acts of gameplay. Each zone ends with a boss battle in which Eggman tries to use all sorts of means to put your heroes out of commission here, including bloody lasers! Jesus Christ, man, I know you hate that hedgehog, but tone it down! There's 8 zones in total, each with their own respective themes and so on. Green Flower Zone. The Green Hill Zone of the game. It's actually a nice starting level as it helps you get used to the controls with little to no punishment for not doing so, and it actually teaches you a bit of how the game's mechanics work. Act 2 does mix things up a bit with the zone becoming more of a canyon, and even give you a little example of how this new slope physics work, and in style. Seriously, this bit was so damn cool. Also watch out for the fish. Techno Hill Zone. The result of Mecha Green Hill having a baby with Chemical Plant are steam jets that send you up into the air, conveyor belts that push you around, and gloop that you can submerge and re-emerge from. Act 2 also takes place in the factory itself at night, but apart from that, not much else. My main gripes with this zone is that in Act 2 there's not enough variety in the colour department. I know Chemical Plant had this sort of scheme, but even that had the blue and yellow tubes to add more life to the zone. The gloop gimmick also feels barely touched upon and lackluster as a result. I mean, your final test with this gimmick is pressing a button deep within the gloop just to make it rise. I feel like this zone would benefit from either a different gimmick entirely, or a level design change of sorts to represent the gloop gimmick a bit better. Deep Sea Zone, the water level of the game. And it really shows as you'll find yourself completely submerged underwater in some beautiful looking outside sections with a view of the whole sea. Remember to grab an air bubble or two though, although the sea is really pretty, you are still at risk of drowning and making your watery grave. Avoid being caught in collateral damage from mines, bombs from above from skims, jet jaws which I can barely fucking see, and these assholes, Crustarians. They're this game's counterpart to Metropolis's Shellcrackers. Unlike them, they are not under low ceilings, but that doesn't mean they can't punch your lights out if you don't strafe around them or jump over their extendable claw fast enough. They will be after your ass at every chance they get, and even underwater, and how the hell was I supposed to avoid that? Fuck. Shit biscuit. Wait, what are you doing? Oh, you son of a motherfucker! Ugh. Bloody wanker. Castle Eggman Zone. Actually the most unique zone of SRB2, and it really stands out to me for that reason alone. Supposedly this is just an abandoned old castle that Eggman took over, and it shows. You just like to plant your ugly mug everywhere, don't you? Act 1 takes place outside the castle, and Act 2 being vice versa. You'll have to deal with Robohoods which like to play sniper with their arrows, Lancerbots in which they can take quite the beating and like to charge at you. That is when they're invincible, by the way, and you can't hit them, so be careful. And lastly, Egg Guards, which despite how cute they look, their shields makes them a nuisance until you take it out. Oh, look how bad he is. Oh, you're so bad, aren't you? You're bad, you're bad. Ow! There's also mazes and chains, the latter which you can swing and launch yourself right off into the air. Just watch out for the thorns that cover the floors all over the place though. Honestly, I did not expect the bridge section the first time I played this, and even thought the music stopping was a bug. Good stuff, guys. Arid Canyon Zone. Ever watched Looney Tunes? Then some of these things should look familiar to you. TNT that can cause collateral damage. Anvils trying to crush you. Yep, looks like Eggman took a trip to Adam-me, alright. Besides the loony stuff, this zone offers spiky cacti to prick you, dust devils to take a ride and get chucked about on, pulleys that you can grab onto to help you get across the huge pits of the zone, and a trip through the mines and minecarts for Act 2. You know, I'm getting flashbacks going in this minecart, but I can't quite place my finger on it. There's also a train that passes by in Act 2, and you seemingly board it for Act 3, and... Holy shit, Fang! Okay, you've invested in AME as well, then. Huh. Alright, you're done. Get the fuck out of here. Don't let the sign hit you on the way out! Dumbass. Whoops! Wrong game! Red Volcano Zone. The only one Act zone as of this version currently, and as the zone name says, it's a volcano. But the theme has so much more to it than just that. The theme is more drastic than anything, and it reminds me of Palm Tree Panic from Sonic CD. There's even badniks based upon pterodactyls, and they can go suck one! What they do is whenever you're close enough, they'll dive bomb and nap you before plunging you for a deluxe hot tub with absolutely no refunds whatsoever. Why? Because in this game, any rings that touch lava will absolutely disappear. And that's just bullshit if you ask me. So if you happen to get yourself stuck in a place with lots of lava and no way out, you might as well kiss your life goodbye, because there's no rings to save you in this case now. Ugh. However, it's not all bad, as there's a gimmick that lets you safely transverse through the lava. The ball. You jump on top of it and voila, you roll across the hot liquid safely, as long as you don't happen to hit any hazards along the way. Egg Rock Zone. The oddball out the bunch, as it's really outdated compared to the other zones, with the exception of the music that is. With lasers, blocks that randomly appear and disappear at will, and breathtakingly difficult sections of the zone, this zone will make you its punching bag. It will slap you to oblivion and drop harder than the music beats you'll be hearing. Bring all the lives you can get for this zone. I'm serious, because if you don't, you better get used to seeing that continue screen over and over. Thankfully there's only 2 acts currently, so you don't have to deal with a 3rd act. Black Core Zone. You're near an endgame here, and now you have a boss rush of sorts. Fun. The first act sees you race against Metal Sonic through the usual obstacle course that throws all sorts of hazards and challenges on your way. Like with most Metal Sonic fights, there's a reason to try and keep ahead. This time being that if you're too slow, the oxygen starts cutting off and you start to drown as a result. Better step it up, slacker! Act 2 is a boss fight against Metal. You go to hit him, but the bastard cheats and avoids your attack. However, if you didn't go and yeet yourself right off the map and into the pit below, and also react quick enough and track him down, you can hit Metal for real. He has a tactic of firing energy balls at you and going to ram you after enough hits dealt to him, But slowly but surely, he's down for the count. It doesn't end there though. The elevator slows down to a halt and you find the control room. But nothing is here. Not even Eggman himself. The bastard will taunt you, however, for whatever emeralds you didn't nab by putting them in a pedestal right in front of you. Not long before send you right into the abyss. Act 3 is the final boss. Eggman whips out his barrack mech from the OVA and you both duke it out. You can't straight up hit him as he's surrounded by electricity that renders him invincible to you. But you can lure him into acid pouring from any of the gigantic pipes above to get rid of his shield and hit him then. After being hit enough times, Eggman gets rid of the safety barriers and throws even more attacks at you, including an attack that will always hit you unless you hide behind something. Soon enough he's defeated and the place starts rumbling and an escape pod conveniently pops up for you to get out of there. Okay, beat the game and we got a nice ending.
Wait. Shit, I forgot the Chaos Emeralds!
To access the special stages this time round, you must find and collect at least one emerald token and bring it to the end of the stage with you. This box will appear to tell you how many tokens you've collected on the results screen, so you know how many chances you got at getting the emeralds before the next stage. The special stages this time round are based upon nights, and if you've never played that, then the best way I can sum it up is that you fly around collecting rings, spears, and doing loop-to-loops, which pulls in any rings and spears caught within the loop and automatically draws them to you. It also uncovers power-ups to help you, such as a helper to automatically draw in collectibles, a link freeze, and even time extension. You can drill to speed up, which you have a limited amount of, so don't go too crazy with it. Should you run out of drill fuel, there's a couple of ways to build it up, such as the power-up for such a thing, or going through hoops, which slowly builds it up. Your objective is to destroy the capsule, which you'll come across later in the stage containing the emerald. To do this, you need to collect a set amount of blue spears before making your way back safely to the beginning of the stage in time. You have a limited amount of time to do so, and you'll lose time for every time you're hit, so don't try to be reckless, and also don't try to be a slowpoke. It's all about controlling your character and your nerves. Mess up either one and it's too bad for you. To be honest, I personally feel like these don't fit as special stages. They feel more like a bonus of sorts, like the Mean Bean mode from Sonic Mania. It's not bad by any means, I actually kinda enjoy going through most of them. It's just not fitting. Each special stage is also themed after its own. For example, Special Stage 3 is Deep Sea, while Special Stage 5 is Arid Canyon. Once again, I don't mind going through most of them, but... Special Stage 7 can right off. I absolutely hate this cluster special stage. It's so damn annoying. It's so claustrophobic, and it's easy to f***ing it up. There's lasers all over the place to slap you right bang in the face. Crushers to crush all of your f***ing hopes and dreams and tell them to f*** off. And dick moves everywhere. Holy You make one wrong f***ing move too many in this fest of a special stage, and you're f***ed. You're utterly and truly f***ed. Who turned up the asshole level on this f***ing special stage? Jesus Christ! F***ing hours it felt like to f***ing complete this cluster. F***ing hours. I hate this absolute f***ing cluster special stage. Why does it exist? F*** whoever designed this fest. Holy Now that's over, get all 7 emeralds and you can finally go super, just like in the classic games. If you're Sonic or Knuckles, that is. What the fuck? You're telling me after all that if you go through this bullshit with Tails, he can't go super? What the fuck is this bullshit, Sonic Team Jr.? What the fuck? Super Sonic is mostly the same as always, super overpowered, super fast, and can give a super fuck you to Red Volcano Zone. he has one new feature, and that's simply being able to float by holding down the spin button in midair. You can completely overtake levels with this. Don't get cocky, however. You need to have enough momentum to stay afloat, so don't let all that power flow to your head. Super Knuckles also benefits from the emeralds in this game, and that's simply nuking any enemies close enough by landing after a glide or hitting a wall. Holy shit, he's on a rampage! There we go! The Chaos Emerald stops the Black Rock's teleporting disease and saves the day. Wait, there's more to the game? That's right, even after the main story, the game still has more to offer you. Extra zones, features, and even characters? Wait, what? Amy? Fang? Metal Sonic? Okay, so I'm gonna cover these extra characters real quick. Fang can bounce on his tail to get up to higher platforms, aimbot his gun at enemies for a distance providing he is completely at standstill, which is kinda dumb, and he can even decimate bosses! Wow! Alright then, I guess I'm gonna shoot Fang with Fang then. Amy has her hammer which she can use on the ground or in midair to attack enemies. You may also hit springs with it for a power spring like in advanced games, so keep that in mind as she even has her own paths to take in the game, as she's one of the only 2 characters who can break through the ground into them. Can also destroy spikes too! That's awesome! Metal Sonic has a dash mode which activates when you keep a high enough speed for long enough. He'll flash red and he'll start going overdrive like he does in Sonic CD. You can also activate it with a spin dash if you charge it up enough, and that combined with his float makes him really overpowered as he can simply skip over sections of level like it's nothing.
Ooh, Super Metal Sonic! I wonder what he can do! Oh, okay.
And that's all the main game has to offer. There's a lot of things I could also cover, like the fact that this game has online multiplayer, modding support, or even the sister game SRB2 Kart, but I may leave that to a separate review later down the line. Either way, that would all blow up the review to be longer than it already is. Regardless, it was an absolute blast to do this review. This game is amazing for what it is. It has a long history alongside its community, and it really has come a long way since its first ever build. I'm happy to ever have been part of this community, and all I can really say is I'd recommend to give this game a chance when you can, and I guarantee once you get used to the controls and everything and explore the various parts of the community and what it has to offer, you might stick around a while just to see what has yet to come.
With that all said, thank you all for watching. I'll see you for the next review. Until then, take care of yourselves and have a good one. So, wait a minute. If this is Sonic Roboblast 2, what was Sonic Roboblast 1?